God calls you, you've got to get involved. God has called these men, God has called these ladies, God has called these families to get involved in what God is doing. And so immediately, God says it's time to build the temple, it's time to build the foundation. So immediately, Zerubbabel leads the people, and they're enthusiastic, they're excited, and they get the foundation laid. But anytime you do God's work, what's going to happen? We know the story, don't we? We know what's going to happen. We know anytime you get involved with God's work, you're enthusiastic, you're excited, all of a sudden they get the foundation laid. Oh no, the local people, the Samaritans said, we can't have this happening. We got to get somebody involved. And so they started heckling the people. They started going against the people. They started going all against the people. They started to try to discourage them and to frustrate them. And I want you to know something, men and wives. When you start trying to do God's work, and you get out there in the field and you do things. I mean, I know you're already on the field and you've already experienced this. But there's going to be hecklers. There's going to be people that say it can't be done. There's going to be people out there who's going to try to discourage you and frustrate you. Why? Because there is a devil who's still alive. He's still walking to and fro, seeking whom he may devour. And he's going to try to devour you. He's going to try to stop you. He's going to try to discourage you. Anytime you go out there in the world, you're going to face opposition. And so Cyrus got it going, but then all of a sudden, after the end of getting the foundation laid, another king raises up by the name of Artaxerxes. And so they send letters, the local people there send letters to Artaxerxes. And they say, please stop the work that's being done here in Jerusalem. And so what does Artaxerxes do? He signs a decree saying the work must stop. God's work must stop because the government says it's got to stop. I want to share this with you. Many times, Satan will use the government to stop a work. I know especially on the foreign field, but I'm going to tell you something. In this field, we see it happening, don't we? It's happening. I'm not anti-government, but I'm just telling you. Many times, Satan will use the government to try to stop God's work. Ezra 4:24 says, thus the work of the house of God, which is in Jerusalem, ceased. It was discontinued until the second year of Darius the king. And this is so important, guys. You've got to know this. Because during this time, when you face this difficult time, you've got to know what God has called you to do. You have to know, God has called me to this task, and if God has called me to the task, God doesn't change His mind. The gift and callings of God are without repentance. God has called you to a task, and you've got to continue the task. You've got to do the task, no matter if the government's against you, no matter if the hell itself is against you. This is what God has called you to do. But because of the government, and we have to obey the Caesar when Caesar's there, and Caesar says we can't work. Zerubbabel stopped the work. And for, 16 years, that foundation just laid there. Now that's discouraging. That can make you want to quit. 16 years. I have found out over the years, God's not in a hurry to do anything. Now, I'm in a hurry. I want Him to hurry up. I got some things I need Him to do. And I've been telling Him constantly, God, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I don't know what He's saying, but it's kind of like, I don't think He's standing like this. But He's saying, I'm working. I'm doing the work. I'm not on your schedule, I'm on my schedule. Well, Artaxerxes off the throne after 16 years. A guy by the name of Darius comes to the throne. And Darius decides that it's okay for the children of Israel to continue the work. And so immediately Zerubbabel and the men, they get to work. They start working, and they start working on it. The Bible says in Ezra 5:2, it says, Zerubbabel and Jeshua began to build the house of God, which is in Jerusalem, and the prophets of God were with him, helping him. Artaxerxes off the throne. And now Zerubbabel goes right to work. I don't know if he got permission yet from the new king or not. All he knows is Artaxerxes gone, I'm getting to work. And what we got to do sometimes is we just got to look at the opportunities. We just got to, when the door looks like it's open, you know, get to work and do what it is God has called you